Hi, Drew Jackson here. I'm here with divorce expert Matt O'Connell. We're talking the big topic, alimony. Tell us about it, Matt.
Well, alimony is a common problem for men in divorce. What happens is a man's income is up here and the woman's income is down here. Now, a common complaint that I've heard over the years is men say, my wife is capable of earning $40,000, $50,000, or in some cases more, but she's claiming that she's incapable of earning anything. Or she goes out and she gets a part-time job that pays very little, and they ask, okay, how can I close that gap? And first, now, a lot of people might think, why do you need to close that gap?
Right.
And the reason is because everything is set on that. The larger that gap between your income and her income, the more you're going to pay in alimony. In many states, child support is based on both incomes. If there's a big gap, you're going to pay a lot more. And also, what a lot of men don't realize is that the division of assets is also based on that income gap. The bigger that gap, the more she's going to get.
Why can't you just tell a judge how much you make?
The problem with that is that the way the courts work, you have to have proof. Coming in with a story will carry no weight whatsoever. That's like when a baseball player argues with the umpire. It's not going to work. He's not going to reverse his call. Just like a judge, if she has evidence that she only earns $100 a week and you have no evidence to dispute that, the judge is going to go with her paycheck. If she hasn't worked and she's not working, the judge is going to order that you have to pay her alimony. But if you come in with a report that shows how much she's capable of earning, a report created from a third party that shows how much she's capable of earning, the judge will listen to that.
You just talked about that gap. How do we close that gap?
There are two ways. You can either bring your income down. The best way to do that is to meet with a CPA and find out how to bring your income down. CPAs are good at this because they do this for the IRS all the time. Another good way is to bring her income up. Now, for years, I've had men send me emails and write me and ask, how do I bring her income up? I know she's capable of making more. How do I prove it? Now there's a way. I've teamed up with the folks at Alimony Report. What they do is they will collect information. You provide information about your wife or ex-wife, background history, her educational background, her employment history. You provide this to them. What they do is they go out and they hire an investigator to pose as your ex-wife and apply for positions that she's qualified for in your area. What these people give you is a report which you can take into court. It's admissible in court, demonstrating what she's qualified for, what companies she could get hired at, and for how much. So it really exposes her.
What an awesome tool.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what happens if you go into court and you don't have this report?
Then you really have no proof. The judge will just go with what she says, because she'll come in with her paycheck and you'll have nothing. The judge is going to go with her. What history has shown is that when men walk in with one of these reports, it's hard evidence that shows what she's capable of earning. She can no longer lie and say that she's not capable of earning this income. You don't even have to say a thing. All you have to do is show this report. Or you can give it to your attorney and have your attorney show this report.
Overwhelming evidence.
Absolutely.
Well, these reports brand new, or what's the deal with these?
Actually, these reports have been around for a while. This company has been doing this for years, and they've actually sold over 7,000 of these reports, which means they've helped over 7,000 men pay less alimony, less child support, and get a better settlement out of the divorce by showing what the women are really capable of earning versus what they claim they're capable of earning. When a woman goes into court, she's going to claim that she's destitute, she's broke, she can only earn so much. But the fact is she's capable of earning a lot more. That's what this report will show.
Perfect. Well, by having one of these reports, which could help close the gap, what could a typical guy expect to save over a year, or 5 or 10 years?
That depends. It depends on your income, and it depends on her income. really what you want to do is you want to, again, close that gap. So if you can close that gap, that income gap, and you get it close enough, you'll pay nothing in alimony. If you don't, and you leave that gap and let her go into court with that gap, you could end up paying hundreds of dollars a month or even thousands of dollars a month for 5, 10, 20 years. She can come after you in the nursing home. But if you can close that gap, you can save thousands. Over 10, 20-year period, that could be tens of thousands, even $100,000 you can save. In addition to alimony, as you close that gap, you also save on child support. Most states now look at both incomes. So the closer the income, the less you'll pay in child support. Also, division of assets. When it comes time to dividing up the assets, retirement plans, 401ks, IRAs, the bigger that gap, the more of that the judge is going to award to her. But if you can close that gap, it'll be more of a 50-50 split of assets. Assets will be divided evenly. With a large gap, they won't.
Sounds like this could be the best financial investment somebody could potentially ever make.
You know, I think so, because I get inquiries all the time from people saying, I know that my wife is capable of making more, but she's lying to the judge, and I have no way to disprove that. Now you do. Now you have a way to disprove that. You can go into court with hard proof that your wife is capable of making more than she's reporting.
What a great tool. Absolutely perfect tool.
Yes, it is.
Matt, you've been advising men for years. Do you recommend this for everybody?
I generally recommend two things. One, this Alimony Report. If you're involved in any kind of an alimony dispute, her income versus your income, just like I recommend a paternity test for anybody involved in a child custody situation, or for anybody involved in paying child support to make sure that the children are yours. I also recommend the Alimony Report to really get a good gauge on her income.
Sounds great.